Good evening, everyone. Um, my name is Bipul Pathak. I am Secretary IT in JNK government. Mr. Garg made a very nice presentation on traffic management, which is one part of the public safety and security system. All of us know, and ma'am will know much better, that law and order management is the core area of public safety and security. Uh, I would be speaking from the perspective of a IT secretary. All of us know that IT department in any government is an enabling kind of department. They provide some kind of leadership in core infrastructure for ICT and other technologies. But ultimately, the user departments have to take advantage of that kind of system in place and develop applications which touch the citizens. Uh, I would be focusing more on the challenges which we face in the IT department and government in general, and the way forward. One of the key areas is traffic, as we mentioned, but we had a nice discussion on traffic, so I'll skip that. The law and order management is also a very critical area of public safety and security, and traditionally it is considered to be a major part of public safety. For that, in that area, all of us know that the Home Ministry has already put in place CCTNS, they call it, the Crime and Criminal Tracking System, and most of the governments, state governments are following the pattern and the design of that tracking system. But I would argue that this system is currently in a silo. Only police officials use it. I'll make an argument later what to do with this system. Then we have to understand that the other part of public safety is a disaster management mechanism in place which we have. All of us know that most of the time when a major disaster happens like an earthquake or maybe floods, then many a times we find that the civil administration at the district level or even at the divisional level is not fully equipped to handle those kind of disasters, and then we call in the armed forces, and then they come with their kind of infrastructure and the management, and then we are jointly able to manage those disasters. Although a lot of focus has gone into the disaster management with the setting up of the Disaster Management Authority and National Disaster Recovery Task Forces all over the country, but again, they are struggling to integrate many of the departments, and use of ICT is lacking in bringing that integration. In hilly areas, especially J&K, where I come from, and many other hill states, we find that the road management and the highway management is also poor in terms of use of ICT for traffic management, one, but for small disaster management like snow avalanche, road closure, advanced warning system for better traffic management. Many of the hilly roads are not 6 lane or 2 lane. They are single roads, and you have to manage the traffic many times by giving advanced warning systems so that traffic is one way through and then it is the other way through. These systems also can be improved by using information and communication technology. And many of the disasters at the small scale every day happen in hill areas, states like Himachal, Sikkim, J&K, and many of the northeastern states. One of the major challenges in the disaster management which we face at the level of districts or even at the state level is the integration of the communication systems between the fire department, the police department, the disaster management teams of the health department, the network of hospitals, both in the private sector as well as in the public sector, as well as the ambulance services. Although a lot of information technology usage has happened in managing ambulance services, hospitals are being managed using IT, but the databases are not integrated. This is the argument which I wanted to propose in this conference, that most of the departments who are using IT are using IT, but they work in silos. Unless all of this thing works as one unit, you are not in a position to harness the real opportunity with the use of communication technologies and the information technology. Your hospitals may be very well managed, but the real use of these hospitals comes when public safety at large is required. For example, in the case of an epidemic, uh, we struggle in the civil administration many a times how to manage the people, the patients or the people suffering from that kind of epidemic, how to manage the hospital infrastructure at the primary level, secondary level, and at the tertiary level, because there is no integration. So that is the real argument, that is the real area of concern when we go forward. We are creating a number of databases in the government system, but none of them are fully integrated with each other. They do not communicate with each other, and we find that because of this lacuna, we are not able to harness all the resources available within the government for better public safety and better public management. So this is a major challenge. There are many examples of these kind of things. For example, many of the departments are using geolocation tagging and GIS mapping for say health infrastructure, social infrastructure, schools. But again, it is scattered. It is for the department to use. The technical education department probably is not integrated with the higher education department at times. The school education department thinks that only schools have to be managed, and they are not connected to what kind of secondary education, what kind of higher education is available, and this information flow is a problem area. Similarly, public works department, you will find that lot of funds for development come to the rural development department, and lot of development works goes on in the rural areas, semi-urban areas, municipal areas. Roads are dug up. You will find on national television many times, even a borewell dug up, and a child goes down, and then army comes in, and then they are digging and trying to take the child out. Now, these are small, everyday public safety issues for which we are not aware, and our civil departments with small kind of initiatives in ICT, and if they communicate with each other, with the fire department, police department, everybody should know that okay, some kind of public work is going to start. You will find good examples of such kind of communication happening when Delhi Metro, once they start working, they bring everybody on board. They bring traffic police on board, they bring the regular police on board, they bring the public works department on board, they take all the permissions and advertise them. And we have taken permissions. They communicate with the public through all these organizations and on their own. And that's how they are able to do their work without causing much inconvenience to public. And it's an example worth emulating even for smaller projects, small road widening project. You can see that kind of mess in all middle-level towns, towns less than 1 million in population. You will find that some road is dug up. People just don't know when a particular road will be closed. In the morning, you go there, you are diverted, and the diversion is also not in place. That kind of public inconvenience, and at times, such kind of inconveniences cause small accidents where sometimes people die. So these kind of small things have to be looked at by the people working in the government, and even the private sector participants who take up such kind of works as contractors, and then they just are lackadaisical in their approach because nobody is monitoring them and they are not bothered. Another area where I find that the similar kind of thing happens is many times in the municipal management of services, especially garbage management. In our state, in J&K, we are trying to introduce mobile-based governance system. Although our core infrastructure in J&K is slightly behind schedule, but once it is in place, then we are going to skip many of the traditional steps which many other states have taken, and go and take a slightly bigger leap in terms of technology, to go to the higher stage of technology and start using mobile governance and developing a mobile service delivery gateway directly, because ultimately all these things are going to converge into your handset. In most of the urban areas, I think these services are already on our handsets, smartphones, and all those things. So in municipal areas, we are trying to introduce a garbage management system. You find that the garbage dumps within the city are not clear many times as per the schedule, and nobody knows. You can't monitor because the supervisor who is supposed to monitor is also not doing his job properly. We have tried to introduce with a system which is a mobile platform based system which is every morning the work supervisor in a city like Jammu or maybe in a city like Srinagar within the municipal corporation limits, they go, they take a picture of the dump after clearing the dump at around say 9:30, whatever is the time, and that picture is automatically shared with all the stakeholders within the government, and it is available on the website also of that particular corporation for people to see. Now, what does this do actually? It ensures that the work supervisor goes and takes a picture. The picture has a geolocation tag, date and time stamp every day. Now, if he goes, then his battery of officials or workers perforce have to go there and clear the dump. We are seeing on television the poor garbage management system in a city like Bangalore in the last few days. All these ICT and the information and communication technologies can be used in smaller steps and very small applications. The only thing is that you have to have interconnection between multiple databases. You have many systems going on in a city. Some are done by revenue department, some are done by municipal corporation, some are done by police, but none of them speaks to each other. So the fundamental conclusion of what I have just said is that we need to develop smaller applications, work step by step, but make sure that all these small databases at district level, city level, municipal level, they communicate with each other. And that is probably the future ahead in my opinion. Thank you very much.